Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos. I'm Blue and I really like to talk about figure skating. So with the Four Continents Figure Skating Championships concluding last weekend, I decided I wanted to make this video and look at the history of the European Championships compared to the Four Continents Championships. I don't know if other fans have seen this, but I have definitely witnessed some, I'm going to call it snobbery, when it comes to the European Championships compared to the Four Continents Championships, with some fans valuing the Europeans more than Four Continents, despite them being effectively the same but for different geographical locations. And so I kind of want to go into why that is. So one of the reasons why many people view the European Championships as sort of higher than the Four Continents is because Euros are the very first figure skating competition to have been made. It's the oldest competition, with the first one being held in 1891. In contrast to this, the first Four Continents Championships was over 100 years after the first European Figure Skating Championships, with the first Four Continents being in 1999, which I'm sure some of you will remember. Another reason why some people view the European Championships as more prestigious than the Four Continents Championships is due to the qualifying method and the spots. So for both Europeans and Four Continents, skaters have to earn technical minimum scores in their short program / rhythm dance and their free program / free dance before they attend, and this has to be in other international competitions. Additionally, for both competitions, the maximum number of spots for a single country for a single discipline is 3. This is the same number of spots as the World Championships and the Winter Olympic Games. The key difference, however, is that similarly to how it works at the World Championships, at Europeans, the spots fluctuate depending on the previous year's results, whereas at Four Continents, there are consistently up to 3 spots available per country per discipline. One of the personal reasons that I have for preferring the Four Continents Figure Skating Championships compared to the Europeans is that, particularly in previous seasons, I think Four Continents is less predictable. Looking at the cumulative medal totals for Europeans, the top 2 nations are Russia with a total of 190 medals and the Soviet Union with a total of 155 medals historically. So there is some overlap within them. And I think even though there are other nations that have had a lot of success, for example, in the men's event, Javier Fernandez from Spain had 7 consecutive gold medals, I think to some extent it is more predictable. Lesser now with Russian athletes not being able to compete due to the political climate, but it is somewhat predictable in that it was known before going into the event that Luna Hendricks and Anastasia Gubanova were very likely to win gold and silver in some order. Whereas if we look at the Four Continents cumulative medal count, yes, the US is in front with 98 medals, Japan in second with 70, and Canada has a total of 73 but fewer golds than Japan. The country is nearer the top, are sort of more clustered. Yes, okay, it does spread out a lot more when you look at South Korea with 9 medals, Kazakhstan with 2, Uzbekistan and North Korea both with 1. But the interesting thing about Four Continents is that it's not one nation dominating everything. To some extent, there's probably nations dominating, but in one discipline rather than all the disciplines, if that makes sense. What I'm probably trying to say is that, for example, in the men's event, although people might have predicted that Yuma Kageyama would win gold, they may not have predicted the entire podium, and they may have not at all predicted the women's podium. They might have expected Mai Mihara and Heian Lee, who had previously medalled and won the events, to have been on the podium. For the pairs event, They may have expected Diana Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps and then Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara to be on the podium, but again, the order, not entirely sure. I think that another reason that Four Continents is consistently looked down on is due to the attitude of the US Figure Skating Association. Considering this season, the US National Championships were a week before Four Continents Championships, so for skaters to go from the US to Shanghai, it would have been a huge time zone shift and honestly quite a lot of travel. Things could have gone wrong regarding their skates getting lost, their costumes getting lost, things like that could have happened. And this is not the first season where top US skaters haven't gone to Four Continents in the same way that top, for example, Canadian skaters have gone, top Japanese skaters have gone, top Korean skaters have gone. Also, just as a fun fact, the first woman to win a Four Continents title, Tatiana Malinina, is Ilya Malinin's mum. Just a fun fact. I do understand people who say that Four Continents is dominated very much by specific countries, as even though there is a larger pool of countries for skaters to come from, the majority of medalists are from the United States, Canada, Japan, and China. So I do understand that point of view, whereas from Europe there's a little bit more diversity, especially in the past few seasons. But this could just be because a lot of the nations within Four Continents, as in the non-European member states, the ISU, don't have very strong figure skating programs and drives just yet. But being able to compete at the Four Continents will probably help to promote figure skating as a sport. In my opinion, neither Four Continents nor Europeans is particularly better or worse than the other. I think it all just comes down to personal preference. If your favourite skater happens to be European, you'll probably want to watch Europeans more. My favourite skaters compete at Four Continents, so I prefer to watch Four Continents, but I think weighting wise, they are the same. I think Four Continents just needs some time to sort of establish itself more. Remember that the European Championships have existed for 100 more years, more than that, than Four Continents, and so the history is richer whether people like it or not. This video was chosen by my Twitter followers. I put a little poll up and just asked what sort of video they would like to see. So if you'd like to help me decide on future video topics, you're welcome to follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!